All right, this is section 1.3, solving multi-step equations, proportions addition. So our goal at the end of this lesson is I can solve multi-step equations with one unknown variable using proportions. Really, this is the only thing that's new in this section is we're still solving equations, but we have proportions. And proportions essentially are a fancy one-word phrase for when we have two fractions equaling one another. So for instance, if we had x plus 2 divided by 4 equals 2/5. That's a proportion. And the steps to solving these are very similar to the other videos, except for this first step, cross multiplication. And really this is a shortcut, cross multiplication. So I'm first going to solve this problem the way I've mentioned in other videos, and then we're going to cross multiply to kind of show how cross multiplication really is cutting out an extra step. So in previous videos, what we said was we were going to simplify equations that had fractions by eliminating the fraction. So for instance, let's first start on the left-hand side of this equation. We're dividing x plus 2 by 4. So to eliminate that 4 at the bottom of the fraction, we're going to do the opposite of dividing by 4 and multiply both sides by 4. So we're going to multiply the top on the left side by 4 and the right side by 4. The right side ends up just being 2 times 4 is 8, all over 5. The left-hand side, we could distribute that 4 to the x plus 2, but ultimately, really what's going to happen is this 4 and this 4 are going to divide out. And 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So we're left with 1 multiplied by x plus 2, but of course we know we don't need to write that 1. And then the last step is, okay, we've still got a fraction, but it's on the right-hand side. So we're going to go through the same process. We're going to eliminate this fraction by getting rid of the divide by 5 by doing the inverse operation and multiply by 5. So we multiply this side by 5 and we multiply this side by 5. This 5 and this 5 divide out and give us 1. 1 multiplied by 8 is just 8. And then on this side, we've got 5x plus 10. We have to distribute that 5 to the x plus 2. I'm going to erase that equals 8. And then from there, we know we would subtract 10 from both sides. And that would give us 5x equals -2. The rest of these steps, you at this point have performed a lot. You end up getting x equals -2/5 is the answer. So that's the longer way. The shortcut way using cross multiplication would be, if we had x plus 4, so if we rewrite the original problem and do cross multiplication, we're going to multiply diagonally across that equal sign. So we're going to take 5 and we're going to multiply it by all of x plus 2. Which you'll notice is really what we did over here on the left-hand side. It just took a couple extra steps to get to that point. And on the right side, we're going to diagonally across the other direction. 4 times 2 gives us 8. And now we have exactly this problem right here. We're not going to finish the steps because we've already finished the steps. You distribute the 5 and you get 5x plus 10 equals 8. And then go through the same process. You'll end up getting -2/5. So that first step, cross multiply, that is what's new. You'll notice the next step is distribute, combining like terms, use inverse operations, isolate the variable. These last 4 steps we've done in all the other lessons. So really we're just focusing on a new skill, and that's cross multiplication. The next video will go through the examples. So example 1, we've got a proportion. We have one fraction equaling another fraction, so we're going to go straight to cross multiplication. We're going to multiply diagonally here. We're going to multiply first 2 multiplied by v plus 6. And then we're going to set that equal to the other cross product. I'll do that in a different color. The other cross product, we're going to multiply diagonally across the equal sign. 9 multiplied by 10. I'm just going to go ahead and write that out. 9 times 10 is 90. And then from here, this is a regular equation to solve. Follow the steps. We're going to distribute the 2, and we get 2v plus 12 equals 90. If you're struggling with the rest of these steps, please reach out, because you'll want to make sure you understand how to do these going forward. Subtract 12 from both sides, we get 2v equals 78, and then divide both sides by 2, and we get 1v equals 39. Try now example number 2. I'm going to give you about 4 seconds, so pause the video, and then I'm going to write out the first step. 3, 2, 1. So that's the first step. 2 multiplied by p minus 8, and 5 times 10 gives us 50. And then see if you can go ahead and finish this problem. Same thing. Pause the video, try it on your own. I'm going to show you the next step in a couple seconds. Distribute the 2. 2p minus 16 equals 50. P equals 33 is our final answer here. Try to start number 3. Multiply diagonally. There's our first step. What's next? So now we have 2x equals 3x minus 12. Next step's a little trickier. Remember, our goal is to combine like terms that are on opposite sides. So our like terms are 3x and 2x. So how do we get them together? Well, we want to move the 3x to the other side so that it's away from the constant negative 12. So the 3x is positive, so we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. 2x minus 3x is negative 1x equals, that's still a negative 12. And then remember, you can't have a negative 1x, so we need to do one extra step, dividing by negative 1, because a negative 1 divided by negative 1 becomes a positive 1x, which is what we're after. And negative 12 divided by negative 1 is positive 12. So our answer is x equals 12. Try the first step on number 4. And that's perfectly okay if you go straight to writing, distributing that 2 to the n plus 4, but that's what the first step should look like. Next step. 6n equals 2n plus 8, distribute the 2. Next step. So you should choose to subtract 2n from both sides because we want to move the 2n away from the constant of positive 8, and then finish the problem. Divide both sides by 4. N should equal 2. Try to solve number 5 from start to finish. So you should end up getting x equals 91. Try number 6. So this is what it should look like after you distribute. More than one way to solve this problem from here, but I always like to subtract the smaller v, move the smaller v to the other side. And then from there, if you solve it this way, you would subtract 24 from both sides, and I think that's 21 as a final answer. The only wrinkle on number 7, if you want to use cross multiplication, you could by putting 8 and dividing it by 1. And now you can set it up for cross multiplication. And really the multiplying by 1 is unnecessary. So really just multiplying both sides by 2 gets us where we need to go. What would be next? If you said subtract 5 from both sides next, you would be right. And then what's our last step? Should be just divide both sides by -1, and we get an answer of -11. The last one, the only wrinkle to this one, is before you can cross multiply, you've got to have a fraction equaling a fraction. Well, we don't have that yet because we have this plus 4. So we need to subtract 4 from both sides first. And then that gives us x divided by 2 equals 6. Or if you wanted to write 6 as a fraction, you could do 6/1. And then from there, it's pretty simple. Cross multiply, we get 1x equals 6 times 2, which is 12.